Remember this phrase: limitations create inspiration. There's no such thing as good or bad video these days. Since the birth of the internet, videos of all sorts have contributed to endless hours, days, weeks, months, and years of entertainment and education and everything in between. Everything in between. We know this. All too often, I come across people that would either love to start to create video content like a YouTube channel or something like that, or need to create video content for their brand or their business. In this video, I'm going to do two things. First thing, I'm going to dissect and explain what you may subconsciously regard as professional looking video, or something I call the anatomy of great video. And then two, I'm going to give you resources so that you can start to utilize and open up your creative abilities and start creating videos that you're happy to share with your audience. But before we do that, what's going on, folks? Josh here, back in the dojo once again, back with another meal. So for those of you who are like kind of not up on things yet, kind of new to the channel, and if I'm looking all bunched up, it's because I got on multiple shirts and hoodies. It's cold in this joint. Got space heater underneath. But anyway, what I started to do a few days ago was like an ASMR video, not full ASMR, like with the the weird whispering and stuff like that. No diss to ASMR folks, but just as I eat, right, I like to break down the nutrition that's in my meal, because my career really consists of two pillars: health and wellness. As a fitness coach, I've been a fitness and health and wellness coach since 2005. And I've been a graphic designer since 2005, and creativity. I've been a full-time, creative photographer, videographer, graphic designer, stuff like that since 2014. And they both feed each other. Like I believe that in order for us to become as optimal as we can be as human beings, we need to take care of ourselves as best we can. And a huge part of that is nutrition, right? What we eat. What we eat determines how we feel. Right, determines our mood, determines our energy levels, and on and on and on. And so the more optimized your energy levels, your health, right, all that good stuff, I think the more creative you can be, right? So let's get this party started with a breakdown of my poke bowl. I got a poke bowl. That was actually what I started the show with a few days ago. So let's break down what's in this jammy. We won't go into the nutritional value because this is not the nutrition ASMR. This is what I told you I'm going to tell you. But before we get into that, let's break this thing down. So in this poke bowl, I have some salmon, creamy cheese. Let me show you while I talk if I can. Is that in focus? I have some salmon, creamy sesame dressing, fried. I think it's Tobago, something like that. Onion crisps, garlic crisps, shredded nori, salmon, red cabbage, sweet onion, blanched kale. I think it's hajiki seaweed, portobello mushroom, tamago, egg omelet, sesame seeds, seaweed salad, fish cake, crab salad, eel sauce, and brown rice. Yeah, bars. That's what we're rolling with today. So as we go into what I told you I was going to break down, we're going to bust a grub, right? Eat some food, share my thoughts, and hopefully you leave with some value. You dig? So let's get into this thing. First, let me take a bite before we do that. 2 seconds. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm hungry. Well, I'm actually not starving. I've been doing intermittent fasting for a week or so now. I've done it before. I love it. I'm going to continue to eat this way. So I'm not starving because earlier I had what I cooked for dinner last night. So it has plenty of healthy fats, good protein, things like that. So I'm not starving, but I do have an appetite now. And I've been waiting for DoorDash for like a minute. So let me go and get some of this real quick. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yup. That's the one, boy. That's the one. So now, as I break this stuff down, there's so much to remember. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. On one end, I do understand what makes or what people perceive as like a good video, a great video. It's almost as if our template are like films, right? Documentaries, movies, and things like that that we watch, certain shows. That's almost like the standard subconsciously. But there's a myriad of videos that we watch on the internet or channels that we watch. And their sets aren't necessarily like, you know, award winning, right? You really just connect with the person. You know what I mean? So as I'm breaking these things down on what you're probably seeing, right, and dissecting it and showing you how you can do the same, I want you to remember that the most important thing is who you are, your personality, how people react to you, how you make people feel, right? The value that you can give to people. And that's really what's going to make a great video. And I wanted to say that before I go into the first part of the video, which is the 8-shot. So this is the anatomy of great video. I'm going to give you all 5, right? And then we'll go ahead and dissect one at a time. There's the A-shot, there's B-roll, text and graphics, music, and editing. If you focus on these 5 components right here, right, you'll have more than likely created a good video. Okay, let's start with the A-shot. And what I'm also going to do for the other, well, you know, that's for all 5. I'm going to share my screen with you. And as I'm talking, I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about, you know? So the A-shot, what is it? What is an A-shot? This right here is an A-shot. The A-shot is what you typically see when somebody shoots a YouTube video. It's like the talking head portion of the video, the person that's speaking in the video. This is what's called an A-shot. Okay. Now, again, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But what makes a good A-shot? To be honest, what makes a good A-shot is your personality. I can have the best background, the best tools, the best everything, the best studio. But if I'm boring or, you know, not entertaining or all over the place, right? It doesn't matter how great the A-shot looks. People aren't going to connect with it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to say that first. So now, the A-shot. What I'm going to do now is pull up. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's go and do that. Share screen. Okay, now, let me close this. As a photographer, as a videographer, one thing you learn, or one thing you learn, or I'll say one thing you learn, and also something that you adopt as you become more and more proficient is the concept of being inspired by something else. Most of the time when people get into photography, videography, or graphic design, or some kind of creative field, they were inspired by something that they saw. Most of the time, people don't just wake up with these like grand ideas, you create creative ideas, and then you go apply them. You saw something, you experienced something, you heard something. And by that, excuse me, you decided to go out and start to create your own thing, right? And you start to put your own voice behind it and things like that. That's the similar process when it comes to creating great videos. So so as it pertains to like the A-shot and what makes a good A-shot, right? I'm going to invite you, right, or instruct you to look at certain YouTube videos, maybe some of your favorite YouTubers, right? Or look at this resource, this first resource, which this is going to be the resource for step 1 and 2. Banging, y'all. Instead of trying to figure out how you should make your background look, without any reference, find some references online, on YouTube, on this website right here called Pexels, on Pinterest, on TV shows. There's many ways you can find inspiration. That's the same thing we do in our profession as videographers and photographers. We find inspiration. After a while, you don't need to look at inspiration as much, but that's very much part of what we do. Is called storyboarding, right? So as you build out your set, right, or start to build your YouTube kit or whatever, or your YouTube set, find inspiration from other YouTubers, right, or the creatives. So what I did here is I pulled up a site called Pexels, and I typed in the word living room. There's many words, many variations that you can put in here, right? This is just what I happen to put up because most people, when they shoot YouTube videos, they use it like in a bedroom or something like that. So this is what I typed in. Now, what are some of the things to consider when it comes to a nate shot? I know I'm talking, again, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, right? But one, just try to make sure the background or your environment is organized, not too sloppy, okay? Make sure it's neat. Make sure the drawers are in the hamper, right? Make sure the fridge is closed. Make sure, the kids aren't running around, what have you. Just try to make it look neat and organized and show people at least that you took a little bit of time and effort to create a visually pleasing environment for them to like learn from or connect with you, right? Now, from there, what are some of the things that people see without even noticing that shit, right? So one, where's that picture at? Where's that one? Look at this. Because I don't want to be too long on each point, so I'm just going to show you one. Here are some of the ingredients that people tend to have in their A shots, right? If you look at your house, look at your room, look at where you decide you just want your set to be. Consider things like color schemes. What are the colors? What's the color of the wall? Do you have a specific wall in the house that pops, right? Like a blue wall, right? Or a red wall, a yellow wall, what have you. Consider some plant life, right? Put some of those things in the background, right? Just looking at some more plant life. I'll show you, right? There's usually always, I shouldn't say usually always, but having some plants in the background, right, is usually a vibe. It's a room that's like a vibe. You know what I mean? The background, that's a vibe. Your set is should be like your hangout spot that your viewers come through and hang out with you at, right? So consider plant life. Consider color schemes, right? Maybe you go out and you get inspired to go purchase some items that'll make your set more visually pleasing and more exciting, a place that you're excited to go to create, which is important. I'm going to talk about that in depth in another video. That's very important to love your space. Okay, or create a space that you like to create, where you like to create. Okay, what else? Art. Putting some art on the walls, right? Some photos on the walls, some pictures of your family or whatever, right? Some photography. Put some of those on the walls. Or if you have a spot that already has those things, use that spot, right? Create your set. Don't just look at your room and decide, well, this is the way the room looks, and I have to choose from the way it's set up now. No, rearrange things. That's what photographers and videographers do on a regular basis. Rearrange things. Create your set. Okay. And then last but not least, practicals. Practicals are just lights. Well, they wouldn't be called practicals in your videos, but practicals are basically, we won't even get into like the film lesson, but like put lights in your background. If you look at my background right now, I have an LED light pointing at the wall behind me because it creates some visual interest, right? Now, the video will be just as fine without the light in the background, but what that does it adds a depth to your environment, right? So you see the walls, the light splash from the wall, then you see me, and it kind of separates me from the back wall. You know what I'm saying? So again, rearrange, create your set. If you need to move some things around, do so. Get a lamp from, the basement. Bring that thing upstairs. Yep. All right, bring it upstairs. Maybe paint a wall, buy a background or a backdrop. But basically what I'm saying is, again, there's no right or wrong way to have an A shot up. You are the most important part of the A shot. This is one thing I will tell you though. Composition is important. Meaning, do you see how in this shot, I'm in the center of the shot? Not saying you have to do that, but like I've taken things into consideration. Meaning, I'm gonna stand up a little bit. I didn't want to be this tall, right? As far as like in the shot, and have less head space, right? I didn't want to be all the way down here either. I didn't want to be off to the side. I wanted to be centered, have this specific amount of head space over my head, have the same amount of symmetry on my left and my right. And this makes for a pleasing shot, right? It's a visual language. People understand it. Some people understand it. Some people feel it, but don't necessarily know how to put it into words. Composition is key, right? And I'll create more videos like that in the future about how to compose your videos. But that's important. That's what makes a good A shot. All right. Some lights, some colors, plant life, art, and make sure the draws, the draws are in the hamper. You know what I mean? All right, moving right along. Let me close this now. Oh, no, actually, I need this open. Now we're starting to get into the nitty gritty. B-roll. Okay. Now, what is B-roll? If your A shot, some people call it A-roll, and you have your B shot or B-roll. Your B shot or B-roll is what you insert over your talking. So let's say you're talking about, let's say you're a personal trainer, you're talking about getting healthy and how lifting weights is conducive to weight loss, right? You can come to this free resource, pexels.com, right? They have photos, as you see, videos, and just photos and videos. Don't worry about the users. And you can type in weightlifting. And from here, you can either use photos or videos free of charge, free, and insert these over your videos. So as you're talking about, let's say you're talking about, you know, as men get older, we need to continue to lift weights to build muscle mass, right? To keep that growth hormone growing, this, that, and the other. Now, it's fine for me to just tell you these points, right? It's fine. It's fine. I could just talk to you and tell you about it, right? It's perfectly fine. But if you want to give your videos pop easily, you want to insert some type of B-roll over that, over your talking points. So instead of just telling people about it, show people what you're telling them, right? And there's so many, endless amounts of videos that you can use and resource that when people watch your videos, they'll be like, oh, this is cool. Like you'll never run out of resources or videos that you can insert over your talking points, right? Let's say you're talking about being a woman, right? And the importance of weight. You know, let's get off of the weightlifting. Let's do something else. Let's say you're a nutrition coach, right? Just type in diet. Oh, boom. Look at these photos and videos. So instead of you telling people the importance of fruit and how they want to make sure they incorporate fruit into the diet, show them. So as you're talking, you show them what you're talking about. Show someone making a salad. Oh, let me close that. All right, let's do one more. What's another industry? What do we say? We had a personal trainer, right? Diet. Let's say you in real estate, and you're trying to tell people about the importance of real estate, right? Well, look, instead of you just talking to them about it, which is perfectly fine, people will listen. And again, you're the most important part of the video. People will listen, but if you can, you know, maybe insert some B-roll as you're talking, right? Let's pick up. I'm talking about moving, right? How people can save on moving by utilizing a particular moving company, what have you, or how to pack or whatever. Instead of you just talking about it, as you talk about it, you can show people what you're talking about. Great resource. I use it all the time. So Pexels is a free resource. There's another one. I'm going to close this down. There's another one that I use that's paid for, and this is Storyblocks. So Storyblocks is Pexels on steroids, right? Videos, audio, stock footage, animated backgrounds, flying text, right? There's a lot more that you can do with Storyblocks, but it's not necessary. You don't have to have it. But like I was saying, again, instead of talking about, guys, I want to put on, a 5K. I wonder if you guys would be interested in, running or you're right, signing up. Instead of you just talking to people and trying to sell them on the concept of joining you, show them visually what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So this is Storyblocks. Boom. Same concept as Pexels, but just it's a subscription that you have to pay. Right. So that's B-roll. A shot, make sure that's clean and on point. B-roll. I forgot. Let me say one thing about the A shot too. This is what I want to tell you. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned that limitations create inspiration. I've learned that as a when I first got into photography, that if there's something that I don't know how to do, or if there's like a studio that I don't have, or a resource that I don't have, that I see like famous photographer having access to, that doesn't mean that my work can't be great. I think a huge part of the style that I developed as a photographer, videographer is a result of having limitations. I didn't have access to like the huge, whether it was like huge studios or lights or things like that. A lot of other photographers had. Now I was blessed in the beginning. I can't even. I had to like double think that. I had access to a nice studio, but you know what I used in the studio? A white wall. That was it. I limited myself because I didn't know how long I would have access to the studio. So I was like, let me develop a style that, like, even if I have to leave the studio, I can still continue to create the portraits that I like to create, because I can find a white wall anywhere or most places. You know what I mean? So as you're thinking of like your A shot in your background, if you don't like your space, right? If it's just not a vibe, create something out of that. Like, don't think that you have to be professional. Be creative. There's too many videos out there for you to think that, okay, I need my video to look like all the other 3,000 videos out there, and not expect your videos to get lost in the sauce. You understand what I'm saying? Try to be unique. One of my favorite photographers when I first got in the game, Chase Jarvis, he said, it's not about being better, it's about being different. It's not about being better than other photographers, right? It's about being different. So as you create your set, what can make you different? Now I'll give you one thing. Maybe this will inspire you. I personally, my photography reflects this, and a lot of my videography, and even this video reflects this. I tend to like, I think what's called a jack of the word, chiaroscuro, whatever, which is basically an Italian word, and it defines like a particular style of photography, where it's like super high contrasty, right? So from the darkness, you illuminate the subject. So that's why I've always liked creating in like dark spaces. That's why it's dark in here. And then I have the lights on to illuminate myself, and from the shadows, I emerge. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't like your room, turn the damn lights off, right? Turn the lights off. If you don't like your studio, turn the lights off, and then turn a light on at a time, starting with you. And there may be a light in the background, and there may be a light here and there. You get what I'm saying, right? But don't think you're limited because you don't have access to what you see other people having access to. Doesn't mean you can't upgrade. You'll grow. Your studio will grow. Your set will grow as you go, but be creative. Don't be like everyone else. Be creative. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's move on to text and graphics. So if you're teaching, you don't have to have text and graphics, but it really helps to expand the learning experience, right? So instead of me telling people that there's 3 different lighting setups, and here they are, there's I'll break down the first, second, and third. If I could just have an easy graphic that I put in front of the screen, right, that says the words Rembrandt lighting, Paramount lighting, bookcase lighting, or what have you, that's going to help my viewer digest the information even easier, right? It just makes the learning experience that much better. And it's so simple and easy to include in your videos. And it just takes it so, like in real estate, it just adds to like the value of the video easily, right? Text and graphics to a video is like I don't know, I'm about to say change like a paint job in the house that just adds to like the value of the property, right? So easy to do. You do it, the value expands. Same thing with your video. So text and graphics are important. In Canva, if you're not up on Canva at this point, I don't know what you're doing, bro. I don't know what you're doing, sis. You need to get up on Canva. Okay. I use Canva for a lot of things, right? And I'm a versed Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro guy. Like I don't need Canva, and I was sort of initially, shouldn't say reluctant to use it, but I was just like, oh, I use Photoshop, so I don't need to use Canva. And then slowly but surely, I started to use it, and I was like, dog, I still use Photoshop. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, yo, this free resource is too good for me not to use it. It just makes your work a little so much easier. Okay, so for example, all right, if I wanted to create, let's just say, I don't know, I'm just doing Instagram posts, right? They have endless amounts of templates that you can build off of. You can start with a blank template, but just look at these, man. Like, you know what I mean? So if you're talking about, real estate or what have you, you can use one of these templates. And as you start to talk about something, right? You just flash one of these across the screen. So as you're talking, and this could be considered B-roll too, people get to see, like, oh, he said the 3 steps to XYZ, and here they are. All right. They have videos on here, photos on here. All right. If you want a little bit more specific, you can type in certain keywords. So I'm going to type in gym, and boom, they give me like, oh, gym templates. Right. 10 gym tips for beginners to achieve body goals. So what happened? And you can just come in here, replace whatever you wanted to say. All right. Of course, it will take long. Come on. Top 10 reasons to create videos, whatever, right? You could change the pictures out. So I have a bunch of pictures over here. So I'll just come in here and swap one over. So let's say I wanted to put, and obviously this isn't going to make a lot of sense because I'm just showing you an example, but you can come here, replace that photo. Come on. Boom. Turn that off. Oh, come on. Well, it's black and white because don't worry about it. I won't get into the Canva lesson, but I will show you some Canva. I will do another video dedicated to Canva. But the point of me selling you this is adding text and graphics is a really easy way to add a lot of value to your videos. And Canva is a free resource. Now, it's so great that I wound up paying for it because I wanted all the extra bells and whistles. You may do the same too, especially if you're a business owner or a coach or what have you. Canva will just make your, posts, your videos, your merch, a lot of things just easy to create, right? So that's Canva and that's text and graphics. So we have your A-shot, your B-roll, text and graphics. Let's move on to tunes, yo. Music. So now, music isn't necessary, but it's pretty much always welcome. Oh my goodness. So, which is fine. The video, I ran out of space on this on that camera. Did that last night too, so I'll make it even easier. Turn that off. So I'll be talking to you. So now, you don't necessarily need music to add to your videos, but it does add a nice touch, especially, and as I'm saying videos, so there's talking head videos, there's also vlogs. Vlogs are fun. You can be like more free with the vlog. There's inherent cuts in a vlog, so you don't have to like be perfect with your speech. Meaning, I don't have like how I'm talking right now, where like there's no cuts. Kind of want to make sure I'm not stumbling a lot. The vlog, you can point the camera at you, say a few sentences, and stop the video, and then walk somewhere else, right? And then create some video, and then drive to the supermarket, and then talk again. So, it gives you, vlogs are just fun. Let me not get on the whole vlog kick, but like vlogs are amazing. in music, even if you're doing just a talking head video, an instructional video, a lot of times I'll see creatives have like music turned down in the background. It just creates a vibe. I don't have to explain to you the joy of music and how people love music and how it just adds to the scene, right? And then there's vlogs, and there's also talking, what I call the music montage video. So if you're just promoting, say, an event that you have coming up, or what have you, right? You can add music to the video. Let's say there's no talking, there's just like visuals, right? If you add a little bit of music to that, it just it just amplifies the value. It gets people more excited because people connect with music on like a visceral level, right? Epidemic Sound, there's many other resources too, but Epidemic Sound is what I personally use. Think Apple or Spotify, but like you can legally license all the music, all the sound effects on here, right? So you don't have to worry about YouTube strikes. You don't have to worry about Facebook or Instagram taking anything down because you don't have the licensing or right to use a particular song. They have so many genres, so many different types of music. So if I wanted some, like, let's say I wanted some hip hop, let's go old school hip hop. I'll come here and you could just sample it. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff on it. Let's do one more. There's a lot. I know. I'm popping up some like bubblegum type stuff, but there's a lot, and there's a lot of great music on here, right? And not only that, you can also use stem. So what a stem is, so let me try one more. So let's say I like that song, but I don't want the whole song. I just want the drums from it. I can come here, hit drum stem. And it just gives me the drums. You know what I mean? That may be better for like your video because the music and the instrumentation may become kind of loud and it start to like over power your voice. So maybe sometimes you just want the melody, you just want the drums. Epidemic Sound allows you to do that and much more. It's pretty affordable in my opinion. If you do I think I have I have the personal. No, I have the commercial because I use this for clients too. So $25 a month. Oh, wait. When you pay, never mind. It's $50 a month. Maybe I guess it's $50 a month. I forget. I have it on auto pay. But you probably would just need the personal, right? Just for you, if you're not making anything with clients, you could just use the personal joint, and it's $15. All right, $15 a month. Come on now, to have endless music, good music, composed music from real artists around the world. Yeah, sign me up, baby. So Epidemic Sound is a really good resource again for you to use. They have like 30-day free trials for you to use to add some zhuzh, some of that to your music, to your videos, whether you're doing talking head videos or music montage or sales video. Well, I recommend Epidemic Sound for that. And then last but not least, folks, editing. Editing, when it comes to video creation, is where you're triumphant or where you fail. That comes to like movies, shows, sitcoms, YouTube videos, your videos. It's all about the edit. You can have world-class footage, but if you don't edit it correctly, you can completely miss the mark on like the story you were trying to get across, or like the vibe or the information you were trying to, tell people about. It really all comes down to the video, because let's say you have your perfect A shot, perfect background, you were clicking, rolling with it. The B-roll is on point, got the dope videos, some photos, added some text and graphics to help articulate your teaching points. Add a little bit of music to create a vibe. But then when you did the edit, it was choppy, or you let yourself like you did like a not a run on sentence, but you didn't know where to like cut your voice, right? To have like some sense of silence and a pause, so that people can like digest the information or whatever. There's a lot of ways to mess up an edit, but it really comes down to the edit. Okay? I guess the point that I'm trying to drive home, right? And also when you learn how to edit, it also makes your recording a little bit easier, because when you know how to edit and you know how you put the finished product together, you can reverse engineer your when you're talking, when you're teaching, when you're actually recording yourself, what you're seeing a lot of YouTubers do called jump cuts. So for example, when you see the final video, when you see the final YouTube video, they may say, hey y'all, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, right? That's how you see it. But when they recorded it, it may have been, hey y'all, it was all a dream. I used to, it was all a dream. Hey y'all, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper. But so there's lots of mistakes and recuts and everything, that they're doing while they're recording, but they don't stop like the recording sound. They just keep it going, leave all the mistakes in, because then when you edit, you know where to just cut out. So by the time you see the video, you see the seamless, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in a limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. You know what I'm saying? I gotta write something. That comes from knowing how to edit. It makes your production a little bit easier because you know the finished product. You know how to put the finished product together. So editing is very important. Here are a couple of resources that you can use to help your videos. Here are a couple of resources. Now, there's mobile editing, which is great. I'm going to recommend, for one, I'm an Adobe guy. I've been using the Adobe suites probably since the beginning, since early 2000. Adobe is one of the staples of the creative, the creative these days. Whether you shoot video, websites, graphic design, photography, I mean, on and on and on. Like I don't know how many apps they have, maybe 50, maybe I'm exaggerating. There's a lot of apps that they have for like all kinds of creative things, right? Audio, video. All right. So when the tool that I use is the Adobe Premiere Pro, which is like one of the staples across the board for film, for documentaries, like for everything. I think people either use Adobe Premiere Pro, which I use, Final Cut Pro, which is Mac based, and what I'm going to recommend to you also is Davinci Resolve. But I think more so the other two people use, right? Photoshop or Final Cut Pro. But Adobe Rush is like a condensed version of Adobe Premiere Pro. You can use it on mobile, right? And you can also use it on like your iPad and your phone. And guess what? Android and all those other phones that aren't iPhones. Not trying to teach your phone, just saying. They make it for that too. So Adobe Premiere Adobe Premiere Rush is what I recommend you use because I believe it's free. And you can do, your transitions, your titles, right? Like I said, adding text. You can color your footage. Not to get into like an editing lesson now, because the editing is a beast in and of itself. But a lot of times when you shoot professional video, you shoot it desaturated and then you color it later. You shoot what's called log or raw, what have you. And then you color it later. You can also import audio, like we said. So if you get that Epidemic sound subscription, you can add audio to your things. There's so many ways and so many things you can use Premiere Rush. And as you can see, Premiere Rush Starter, free, right? You limit it to 3 exports. access to all features and content. You get 2 gigs of cloud storage. But then if you did do the $10 a month, you're off to the races, right? And again, I believe they have a tablet version, and I know they have a mobile version. All right. So this is one of the things I recommend, Adobe Premiere Rush. Again, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. There's also, if you have an iPhone, come on now. Where am I going with this? Some of you know. Come on. iMovie. Oh, come on now. iMovie. Come on now. If you're not open on iMovie, I mean, what are you doing? iMovie is sufficient when it comes to putting things together for your videos. More than sufficient when it comes to taking clips, videos, music. You can even color your videos and keeping it super simple. Drag and drop, clip here and there, trim here and there, put it together. You can create amazing videos on iMovie. Right? But if you want something even more sophisticated, and I'm learning the Davinci Resolve simply because like I have Adobe Premiere Pro, so I don't need to learn any other piece of software. But Davinci Resolve is free. Premiere, you have to pay for it. It's a monthly subscription or annual subscription. So I want to learn, and I'm going to learn Davinci Resolve, and apparently it's supposed to be easy to learn. I'm going to learn it so that I can teach you guys how to use this if you don't want to pay for an Adobe subscription. Right? This will just give me more ability to teach and help people where they are, right? If you don't have the money or you're just not looking to, have another subscription right now, I want to learn Davinci Resolve in the next week or so, and I'll probably pick it up in like a few days so that I can teach you how to use it. But Davinci Resolve, Premiere Rush, iMovie, Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, whatever you decide to use, these are the tools that I recommend you use for putting together all of your footage, your clips, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So in summary, that's pretty much it. Remember, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm showing you how to create dope videos, right? I'm showing you how to create dope video. But the thing that makes your video the dopest is you, your personality, the information that you have, how you share it, how you decide to share it. And don't be confined to this imaginary box of professionalism. That's boring. Not saying people that don't add an artistic flair to their videos that they're boring or their videos are like worthless. I'm not saying that at all. Those videos are great. There's always there will always be a market for that. But if you don't necessarily feel like you have the resources, right, or the space, or even the desire to create or replicate that look, don't be afraid to find inspiration from other people. Don't even look at other coaches. Look at photographers. Look at videographers. Look at dancers. Look at people that are outside of your industry that's going to help spark creativity. The creatives are winning nowadays. I think you know that. The creators are winning, okay? So don't limit yourself to what you see the other coach, the other nutrition coach, the other personal trainer, he or she, whatever they did. Don't limit yourself to what they did. Do your own thing. Remember what I said in the beginning. Limitations create inspiration. If you're limited, find that inspiration and kill the game, right? Another thing, if you don't like your set, turn the lights off, start turning the lights on slowly, starting with you, and then you start to fill out the environment. If you want to, maybe you just keep a light on you and you have that sort of like spotlight look that I like, you know what I mean? So in summary, the DNA of great video, your A shot, there's your B-roll, there's your text and graphics, there's music, if you should decide to use that, and then it's putting everything together in the edit. Bars. I hope this was helpful. If you found this video helpful or entertaining to some degree, go and hit that like, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this joint with somebody who you think could find some value in it. And as always, family, ABC, always be creating. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.